So just a little bit about the work we're doing is to apply both experimental 3D printing opportunities and CFD simulations to deliver new cases of drug delivery. So that could be opportunities for delivering vaccines and also insulin that would then remove the need for needles. Okay, so just a summary of the team. There's 3 ENT clinicians and a few researchers and also institution collaborations between Australia and also international groups. And this chart here is just a little schematic of what we're trying to do. The company is ENT Technologies. We're going to see or understand where are these particles being delivered, and can we manipulate the way that these devices are working so that we can target the specific regions of the nose. So it's involving starting from scratch, starting from CAD, all the way through to 3D printing and also CFD modelling. So the main products we're using is ANSYS Fluent, because we're looking at the multi-phase flow. We've got the liquid drug formulation as a liquid, and then the air that you breathe in is the gas phase. Two modes of multi-phase. One is the spray atomization, so the new VOF DPM coupled capability will really help us to solve some of these issues. And then we've got just the single volume of fluid approach, which we can track the interface of the liquid, the jet stream coming through. And this is the polyhex core meshing that that fluid's brought out.
Whoops. I just don't know what fluid.
Might be the video.
No. So I'm just doing it.
Okay. So this is just some experiments to understand what's happening in a nasal spray. What's working? Let's just see if I can get it to show, but might not come up. It doesn't matter, it's okay. So the previous slide had all the showing there was a liquid phase coming out, and let's see if we can just show you. Might be the videos. But you can see that it starts off as a liquid phase and then eventually breaks up into particles. But at the moment, we've just been running the particle phase, seeing the particles come out as a spray. The main issue, so we are currently running the simulations, and it's quite intensive. So I think it's in about the 7th or 8th day. And to get a full-blown VOF to DPM model, it takes us typically 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, thank you. But you can see that it's very highly energetic. The whole process takes 0.1 of a second to complete, and you've got velocity starting from 0 to 30 meters per second. And this is just the simple Lagrangian DPM modeling, which is limited because we don't really understand what's happening when the liquid sheet comes out. This is just a schematic of your internal nasal cavity, and just to demonstrate the complexity. Some of the targeted regions are the sinuses. So if you've experienced sinusitis, then the aim of treatment is to try and deliver those drugs to the sinuses, which are sitting laterally to the way you're breathing. So as you're breathing in, the airflow is going from front to back, but your sinuses are lateral. So when you're trying to deliver drugs, you need to kind of do a swing, get the drugs to swing through. A lot of times the drug medication doesn't work, doctors will get involved, and they'll literally drill a hole and open up that opening to connect your nasal passage to your sinuses. That opens it up and then gives the opportunity for the drugs to deliver. Okay, so at the moment, whoops, sorry. The neti pot, if you've seen this, it's been around for ancient times. In India, the gurus used to treat people with just water in a little pot. But we know that if you're going to use gravity-fed pots, it doesn't give you very high shearing forces. So the squeeze bottle is a new product that will help to increase that velocity. And as you squeeze in, you create additional momentum, and that liquid formulation can penetrate and also remove any layers of mucus that are sitting on your nasal cavity. And so that's a image of our 3D printed nasal cavity, and it's quite complex because your sinuses are very small and highly curved and convoluted. This is our first set of simulations for the jet stream flowing through the nasal cavity, and you might be able to see it's idealized, but here you can see the liquid dripping into the sinuses. Of course, it's not optimized because of when you tilt your head in either direction, and the gravity can take control or have an influence on the way that the liquid is being introduced. Okay, so we need to see what the surface coverage is of the nasal cavity, and we can actually unwrap the geometry. So this is quite intricate and it's a bit complex, so I won't go too much detail. But when we unfold that and then look at the surface of the nasal cavity, we can actually map out the coverage here. So this is the volume fluid coverage from 0 to 1, 0 being no liquid and 1 is the liquid, and then also the wall shear stress. So the liquid comes into the nostrils here, then out on the other side, and these are your sinuses. Okay, so the expected outcomes is to improve the effectiveness of nasal sprays through the VOF DPM model. We want to be able to control how the drugs are being released, and we want to be able to target where these drugs are being delivered to. So I'm going to show these two videos from Hashan and Alan in their applications. They helped me to have a look at. So they've used here. I sped it up. Sorry, I didn't know there was audio. So that's Hashan talking and also doing discovery. Because it goes for 2 minutes and I didn't want you to sit through 2 minutes of it. So it's more of a demo and showing how, hey, let's do some virtual surgery here and let's see how the fluid phase and the resistance looks. And on the other side is Alan's demonstration for the AR. So we had that nasal cavity printed, and then we gave the results to Alan, and he was just playing around with, or demonstrating, sorry, how this can be visualized. There is, okay, so you can see the contours there, so it's quite good. You can see that that's the cross section of the geometry of where your, well, they've got these bony protrusions that connect or come into your nasal cavity. Okay, so just to summarize, this is the products we use and I guess the workflow. So we start off with space claim, and fluid meshing has definitely revolutionized our workflow, where one of these models, when I started, used to take 6 months to create using Gambit, if anyone ever remembered Gambit, and Fluent version 6. But now, yeah, we can do that in less than a day. The multi-phase models, and then we use CFD post and a lot of scripting to help us generate rapid results. So I just list some of the key functions and features that we're using in ANSYS, and which is Fluent, so we don't use any CFX. Okay, so I'd just like to thank the collaborators and all the people involved, and if there's any questions. Yeah.
Do you get a runny nose?
Do I get a runny nose? Yes.
Okay.